Resident Evil 0.
A Midwestern town in America, Raccoon City. A solitary island far off in the sea, Rockfort Island. An island that would become the second Raccoon City, Sheena Island. There are still many unanswered questions about these seemingly unrelated yet intensely traumatic events. Though it is believed that the international enterprise umbrella was somehow involved, little is known as to the origin of this faceless corporation. When was it established? By whom? And how was the T-virus created? To uncover the truth, we must delve deeper into the events which transpired in the beginning, before the mansion incident.
Do you think so too?
Yeah.
Do about it.
Hold off for a while.
But I wonder how those hiring people would react to this.
Began as a simple investigation of some bizarre murders in the suburbs of Raccoon City. Nothing in our training could ever have prepared us for the nightmare that ensued. We never stood a chance.
What's going on? Engine failure. Emergency landing.
Check the current position and investigate the surrounding area.
Captain, look! Captain!
What happened?
Court order for transportation. Prisoner Billy Cohen, ex-lieutenant, 26 years old. Court-martialed and sentenced to death July 22nd. Prisoner is to be transferred to the Regathon base for execution.
Those poor soldiers. They were good men just doing their jobs, and that scum murdered them and escaped.
All right, everyone, let's separate and survey the area. Our friend is brutal and ruthless. Keep your guard up.
A train?
This is Officer Chambers from STARS Bravo team. Please identify yourself. Is someone there?
The government has announced that it has set out to our promise. But as of 2 years ago, when several plans were set up, the local government stepped in and took over.
I'd like to welcome you guys into the Resident Evil 0 Let's Play. If you have not played this game before, it is pretty interesting to me from the way that it started. In this sequence, you're going to get Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 today, and they are going to be of the train sequence, which is the first part of the game itself. And I'll try to chime in terms of this is going to be a walkthrough, a let's play, seeing some of the stuff that you guys got to be able to do to get through the game, and just history about it as we go along too. So if you haven't played Resident Evil 0, it's pretty interesting because this game had humble beginnings, I believe, on the Nintendo 64, and then the idea was scrapped. You got the initial train sequence and the first few screenshots, and something that was new to this Resident Evil game, even though this is a prequel to the first one, was a partner zapping system. By pressing, I believe it was X on the GameCube when this first came out, or the triangle button on the PS4, you can swap up to another partner. And not only does that give you more inventory space to deal with, there's also a lot of puzzles that involve two players. So you cannot control both of the guys at the same time unless you're using, both sticks to control them on the same screen, but rather you would zap. You could press the touchpad or one of the buttons on the GameCube to be able to say follow me or stay here, and you can try to do two-person puzzles, whether it be leaving items for another person, flipping a switch while the other person grabs the item, just things like that. And for some of you guys, and this is also partly for myself, this makes this game a little bit harder to record rather than the first Resident Evil, because there is much more backtracking in terms of picking up items and doing a lot of the monotonous tasks. So for the sake of doing a let's play and a walkthrough and keeping this entertaining, I'm going to try to minimize as much of that as possible, because if there's certain instances that you'll see, and I'll note them as we go throughout this game, I'm just going to say flat out, I'm cutting this out because, I'm just trying to pick up an item to get it to a certain spot. Because you can leave items in this game to where your opponent is under attack a lot, and that is a pain in the ass. You have to make sure that you keep your items where you need them if they're your important ones, because you do not want to go all the way back to the other side of the map, the other side of the area, and backtrack. It makes for a very painful experience, and it's one of the things largely, even though this game is very beautiful to look at, like the initial Resident Evil, especially on the remake remaster from the GameCube to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, this game is very beautiful to look at, and there's some aesthetics of it that you like, and some ideas of it that you may like, but some of that stuff does get in the way.
Billy. Lieutenant Cohen.
So, you seem to know me. Been fantasizing about me, have you?
You're the prisoner that was being transferred for execution. You were with those soldiers outside.
Oh, I see. You're with STARS. Well, no offense, honey, but your kind doesn't seem to want me around, so I'm afraid our little chat time is over.
Wait! You're under arrest.
No thanks, Dollface. I've already worn handcuffs.
I could shoot, Edward! Are you alright? What happened?
It's worse than... We can't. You must be careful, Rebecca. The forest is full of zombies and Monsters.
Zombies and monsters. This is Rebecca. Over.
Rebecca, can you hear me? This is Rico. What's your location? Over.
Enrico! Hello! Can you read me? Please respond.
Rebecca, I can hear you. Now listen up. We've obtained detailed information on the fugitive from a document found in the wrecked wagon. Billy Cohen killed as many as 23 people. Over.
23 people.
We have also confirmed that he was institutionalized, so keep your guard up. Can you hear me, Rebecca? Over. Stay alert, Rebecca. He wouldn't think twice before killing you.
Enrico! Captain! Hello? Hello!
It's gonna be dangerous from here on in. Why don't we cooperate?
Cooperate with you?
Listen, little girl, if you haven't noticed, there's some pretty freaked out things on this train. And I, for one, want to get out of here. I don't think we stand a chance doing it alone.
You expect me to trust you, a wanted felon? I don't need your help. I can handle this on my own. And don't call me little girl.
All right, Miss Do-It-Yourself. What should I call you?
The name is Rebecca Chambers, but that's Officer Chambers to you.
Well then, Rebecca, why don't you go and try while I wait here?
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
Are you okay? Who is that guy?
What's going on? Who's controlling the train?
Go and check out the first engine car. Listen, we gotta cooperate with each other from now on. You got that?
Well, I don't...
Clue in, girl. Or maybe you like being worm bait.
All right. But you just remember, I will shoot you if you try anything funny.
Fine. Now take these with you. If you find anything, give me a call, all right?
As we come up at the end of part 1 and all the introductory sequences, you're going to find an introduction here to character switching that you're going to be doing pretty much throughout the entire game. Now, in this document, I try to move a little bit slower so you can hit a couple important pieces. Maybe as we go along throughout these Let's Plays, I'm going to speed through these documents just to keep the Let's Play and everything timely. As there you see character attributes for Rebecca and Billy. Make a note of those as you go along the game, because you might find some certain instances where it makes more sense to use Billy if there's a lot of enemies on the screen, or Rebecca to be able to combine some items and get you to where you need to get to. So here, this is what I'm going to end up doing as we get to close in this first part of the video. You got to bring Billy into a safe spot, because now you're going to try to go ahead and get to the ladder to get to the next part of the train car, and you're going to be split up immediately. So the main thing, especially when you get introduced to something that's a big hint, so even if you're just playing the game for the first time, you'll end up probably just automatically feeling that this is going to happen. So it's important that you put your other character in a safe spot, especially when you're in the save point and the music plays. You know that's a safe spot. So if you put your character in danger, they're going to try to call over to you on the radio and do some other things and waste your bullets. And you know, if you play Resident Evil and all that, it's very important to keep your ammunition in order and all of your character's health and everything else in order. So when we come back in from part 2 of the Resident Evil 0 Let's Play, we're going to explore the train car and get split up once again. Peace out, guys. Facebook.com/TBUGunslinger, Twitter @JohnRyanOtt. This has been John Ott signing off for the first part of the Resident Evil Let's Play. Have a good one.